Man, this is great. I've got the park to myself. I'm coming to hole one, and hole one's been bothering me, so I'm gonna work on it a little bit. Maybe I'll throw several discs just to see if I can dial this in, because throwing on hole number one really sets the tone for the rest of the round, so this would be a great time to do it. I've got nobody around. I can take my time and enjoy this round. This is gonna be awesome. That's good acting right there. That's high quality acting. All right, couple off the first tee. Let's get warmed up and let's have a good round. Oh. All right. Hey guys. Yeah, hey, listen, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm by myself. I should be good. I'll get out of your way in just a minute. No problem. Yeah, let me go ahead and throw. Well, I guess I won't be throwing multiples off here. All right. Huh. All right, yeah, okay. Hey, it's gonna take me a minute. I gotta go get that one down the hill, but I'll get out of your way real quick. Well, so much for me taking time. The guys seemed a little impatient, so I wanted to get out of their way. Great, so I'm starting off OB. I gotta go find this, and they're standing on the tee waiting for me to play quickly. All right, let me get this. I tell you what, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna come back for this later. I'm just gonna hurry up and go ahead and throw, because yeah, this will be better. I'll just get out of their way. And oh no. Oh wow. Kind of burned that one over. Crap. All right, I gotta go quick. Get out of their way. Hey, I'll be done in a minute. I'm going as fast as I can. Sorry, guys. What are the chances that the only two groups of people playing disc golf are on the same hole at the exact same time? That's just how it goes sometimes, just how it goes. Man, my disc rolled over here. Ooh, it just stayed in bounds. I tell you what, I'm not even gonna, yeah. Way to take a double bogey to start the round. All right, well, whee, excited to be out here now. All right, so amazing acting skills aside, that was obviously staged and not real, but it happens a lot. What happens is that we think that we need to start on hole number one, regardless of the fact that the whole course may be open besides one other person starting on hole number one, and for some reason we feel like that's where we have to start. And so it creates this tension, and a lot of times it puts pressure on the person that's just been there, gotten to the course, thinking, hey, I can do whatever I want, I'm kind of here by myself, and next thing you know, feeling this pressure of, I gotta go play fast. And so one of the things we can do as stewards of the course, learning this game, being a social game, being social players, is we can think about when there are times that we may want to choose an alternate beginning tee hole. Moving someplace else so that we're free of that person, they're free of us, and we can play at our own pace, our own style of play, and not have to worry about pushing or interfering with somebody else. And so I don't know if everybody knows that you can do that, or can think through, well, not can think through, but we just don't think through, maybe I should go to a different hole. Maybe I should let this person have some space. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about some things that we can start to think about, how we can use the course to our advantage, and think about when it might be the best time to maybe go to another tee pad to start our round. So let's jump in and talk about a couple things. Okay, here's some things to consider. First of all, you need to consider the number of players in your group and their group. If you're a single player, you're almost always going to play faster than 2 or 3, but not always. But that's usually a good place to start. If you're one player and they're 3 players, yeah, if you jump 1 or 2 holes ahead of them, you should be able to get ahead of them and not have any problems. You just cruise on along. However, if you're two players and they're two players, you're probably going to play about the same. So you want to give yourself even a bigger buffer if you're going to get ahead of them. Then you also need to keep in mind their speed of play and your speed of play. Even if you're 2 and 2, if you know that you're a fast group, like I tend to play pretty fast, I know generally if I can get one hole ahead of you, you're not going to catch up to me. But I also know some players that tend to play slow, and they know it too, that they're like, okay, yeah, I tend to take my time. I take longer than most people. So you need to keep that in mind, how you play, how they play, and try to gauge that so that you are not jumping a couple holes ahead of somebody that plays faster than you, only to have them catch up with you in just a couple holes. Then you also need to realize and think about whether you're playing casual, serious, or practice rounds, because each one of those is going to have a different speed to it, both your play and their play. For instance, if I'm just going out for a casual round, I'm usually pretty loose. Even if there are a couple of us, we're just playing, first one out, throw, and have a good time. But if you're having a serious round, like maybe it's doubles or it's, you're playing for tags or something like that, things get slower and more serious, and those rounds take longer. So you need to be aware of what kind of play you're going to be playing out there, especially if you're doing practice rounds where you're throwing multiple discs, or you see the guy ahead of you, even though he's a single guy, but he's throwing multiple discs. That might be a good indicator. Okay, he's going to take a long time. I can jump out ahead of him, or I want to throw multiple discs. I don't need to jump out ahead of them because I'm going to take longer. So keep that in mind. Also be aware and think about who's playing either short or long tees, because if I'm playing the short tees and you're playing the long tees, the speed difference is going to be very big, especially out at Inverness. But now if you're playing the short tees and I'm playing the long tees, our time might be about the same because I'm a quick player. Even though I'm playing from the longs, I may end up catching you. So you always want to be aware of what the time play is between the different tee pads as well, because that may make a decision in where you jump in, if you need to jump in or jump ahead or jump around. Sorry. Another thing to think about is your schedule. Do you have time to wait around? Is this a casual, I'm just having a good time, or is it lunchtime and I've only got 45 minutes before I've got to get back? That may make the decision, okay, I'm going to jump over here and start on this one and make sure I have plenty of room to speed through, because otherwise that may cause little problems. Whereas some days you're just like, it doesn't really matter. I can hang back, or I can wait a little bit. So your schedule does have some influence on what decisions you make there. And then finally, the other thing is, are there other groups on the course? It's an easier decision if it's two of y'all get to hole number one at the first time. Whoever gets there first and is taking off, the other one then just goes to another hole. But what if there are multiple groups already out on the course? You can see as you're coming in, oh, there's somebody here and somebody there. It makes the decision a little bit harder. And so that's where you definitely need to know about, where are the good places to go if you need to make a switch over to another hole to start. You never want to interfere with people already on the course by you jumping in the middle of their round. Okay, and here's a little visual. You show up to hole number one and there's somebody on that hole. So now you've got some options. You're obviously the fit ultimate player that also plays disc golf and like is a person of action. Okay, well, here's a little chart just for Inverness of different options that you could take. And the first one is, the closest one is hole number 6. And that's really kind of the alternate hole number 1 for a lot of folks. And it's only 340 feet away from the parking lot. So it's just simply walking around the corner and starting right there. That's a great starting place, and a lot of people do that. But then you've got other options, like hole number 1 is only 470 feet away. Hole number 5 is a little bit farther at 599. Hole 7 is at 650 feet. Hole 4, 797, and hole 2 is at 835 feet. But all these are with a quick walking distance of a couple minutes to get there. But you've got options. You're not limited to, I only can start at hole number 1. You've got literally, 6 different places you could start besides hole number 1 that hopefully wouldn't have you interfere with other people on the course. And that's why I put those up there, just to let you think and see that you need to think outside of just hole number 1 and one other. There are other options out there so that you can hopefully find that spot that is going to allow you to play and not interfere with other folks. So here's a visual reminder of what you need to be thinking about when you're making that decision. You're on hole number one. You start looking around. Okay, I know there's somebody on hole number one, and I heard somebody on hole number four, and I also saw somebody on hole number seven. So where can I go that is not going to interfere with any of those? And also keep in mind how many players, if you can see them, are on those holes, because that's going to have a big influence on how fast they go and whether it would be a good idea to jump in the middle between those groups playing. And speaking of, for this area around here, I've laid out for George Ward, Civitan, and Carter other alternate holes that you could start on. And I've put by them whether you're able to walk to them, or some of those you just drive your car and start there. The other thing to remember is that UDisc will allow you to change your starting hole on UDisc so that it will keep track and you won't have to do the mental gymnastics there. You're simply going to want to open up the UDisc app and then go to the course that you're going to play. And when you're starting to put in, play your round or whatever, go up to the little toggle, hash marks, hamburger, whatever you want to call it, up in the corner, and do the drop down menu and go down till you see starting hole, and you click on that and you simply choose the hole that you're going to start on, and it will start from that hole and take you all the way back around the course, and that's all you have to do. It's very simple and easy. Okay, now important thing to remember is that you need to assess if the course has the space to switch, because you don't want to cut in front of another group and start your round only to have your game slow them up. Or you could actually, if you play fast enough, run into the next group and start pushing them. So remember, the rule of thumb is you want to have at least 2 holes between you and the other group. If you're trying to figure out, can I jump in between them? That usually helps. At least you got a little buffer. And so you're responsible to make wise choices that don't interfere with other people's games. If you're jumping into the middle of another person's round, it's on you not to slow them up or to push them. Okay, so you've thought all these things through, and what are some of your options? Well, the first one, you could join them. If it's a singleton and you're a singleton, that's perfect. Y'all go play as a double. Now, it doesn't always work, but that's part of the joy of disc golf, getting to learn new people, new games. It should be a social sport, so there's a great opportunity to join them. If there's a threesome, it might be a perfect time to go, hey, can I join you? Maybe we could play doubles. We could do something like that. Or you don't have time. Like I said, the schedule. You can go find another hole. But you need to know the course. You need to know where the places to go are and what's going on with the rest of the course. Be aware of, if I jump on hole number 6 and I can see people coming down on hole number 5, that's not going to be a good place to start. Maybe I need to jump over to hole 11. The other thing that may go on is you may want to start on hole number 1 just because you want to keep that rhythm of stuff going on. So this may be a perfect time to practice your putting at the practice basket a little more, stretch a little more, take a little more time and just warm up a little bit more. Now don't do it right by them teeing off so that you're kind of pushing on them like, they realize you're waiting for them, because that can add pressure to them. But what you can do is you can just work on your warm-up routine and get a little bit more limber if you've got the time, and just settle down a little bit. Also, this may be a great time to go ahead and eat something, have a little snack, and hydrate a little bit more. I'm notorious about forgetting to do that once I start playing, so this might be the perfect opportunity to do those things and kind of get my body ready for the round rather than halfway through forgetting and crashing. And then finally, the last thing you may want to do is just go, you know what? I'm not in a hurry. I'm just going to sit here at the bench. I've stretched a little, and I'm just going to take a little time to breathe and just relax and enjoy being out here. One of the problems we have is we want to go, 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 and I'm just as guilty as the rest of you of get to the course, want to get on hole number 1, and want to go. And sometimes I forget to breathe. Sometimes I forget to just enjoy this beautiful park that I get to be in. And that may be the answer to, oh, great, we got here at the same time. Instead of rushing, oh, I want to go play, I want to go play. Let that person, that group go play 1 or 2 holes before you ever get up to the first tee. So now you've got a nice gap between you, and you've taken time and lowered your expectations, your anxiety. You've just taken time to breathe, and hopefully you're going to enjoy the round more. So there you go, guys. There's a couple little things that can help you out, but the main thing to try to always remember is you don't want to have a negative impact on the other groups that are out there playing. We want to make this sport as enjoyable for everybody out there on the course. So if you use a little awareness, little social awareness. Keep your head up, keep it out of the phone. Even if you're doing scores, make sure to look up, look behind you, look in front of you. Be aware of how you are interacting with the rest of the course. We can make this a better place for each one of the people out on the course. And it may give you opportunities to join and meet people you wouldn't have otherwise. And they may become some of your best friends in years to come. I know some of my best friends are ones that I've met on the disc golf course. So I hope that helps you, and I hope that gives you a little more insight into how you can be a great steward out on the course with both your time and the time of others out there. Well, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope this helps. I hope this gives you a aha or just a little bit of encouragement how you can be a better player, but also a better person out on the course. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to check out some of my other videos. Like and subscribe. That would help me out a lot. Check out my Patreon channel. But more importantly, get out there on the course. Have a great time. And I hope to see you out on the course.